How often do you come and help out here?
Just Friday mornings.
Friday mornings?
Yes.
Oh. And I should think it's very sort of satisfying.
It is very, very rewarding.
Yeah.
At the moment, I'm just waiting for the heat pads to warm up.
Right.
So this guy came in about 8 o'clock last night. We got called out to him. He was actually found in Brighton, in a garden in Brighton.
Right.
And he was found sort of curled up in a garden. He'd been there all day, just curled up in the open as well. He's got a nasty territorial bite mark just above his tail, and another bite mark just on the side of his neck. But he's badly emaciated and dehydrated as well, which is why we've got him on a drip at the moment. And there's heat pads and everything under there, which we're just in the process of replacing. His ears are full of ticks as well, so I think he might have a balance problem as well, which could be half the reason why he's emaciated, to be honest. But I'm hoping he'll survive. All we can do is try and hope for the best. So, but at least we're giving him a chance, which is the important thing. Well, all the volunteers that work up here, all mainly from the Helsham and Eastbourne area, all volunteers come up here giving their free time. We've got a rota of about 24 people that come up in the morning and the evenings to help with cleaning and feeding. We wouldn't be able to run this place without them, to be honest. So they do a brilliant job. And certainly I couldn't do it all on my own, so I'm really pleased that they're coming up and helping.
And what would you put in all these different, what animals might you actually have in here?
At the moment, we've not got too much in here at the moment. We've just managed to release loads of animals, which is really good. And this coming weekend, we've got about 40-odd hedgehogs that are going free as well, which is really good. Fingers crossed. So in here we've got one of our gulls, I think.
Oh.
Let me see. This is one of the shot victims that we've had.
Yes, it was. Yes, I read about that.
This is actually from Bexhill, found in Bexhill High Street.
Right.
Actually fell off the top of a roof and hit the floor, and has been shot with an air rifle. So this one's on treatment at the moment. So yeah, it's all got medication which the vet's prescribed. And that's one of the good things about being here, located next to the vets. You know, we've got good access to the vets, because we're not vets at the end of the day, and we're not here to replace vets. But obviously we're doing what vets don't have the time to do. You know, vets are such busy surgeries these days, they can't go out on site rescuing wildlife all the time. So we do that role, and then work with both Horsebridge, St Anne's, Chase Vets and various other veterinary practices around the county.
That is wonderful. Yes.
So we've got a little fox down here as well at the moment. In the she actually was found attacked in a garden in Eastbourne, and unfortunately she was lactating when she was found, which means she actually had cubs somewhere. We tried to get her patched up and released quickly, but she just wasn't fit enough, so she had to come back in again, which unfortunately means she's probably lost her cubs. We did try looking around the gardens and trying to find them, but we couldn't find them anywhere, which is a bit of a shame. But unfortunately she developed a number of problems, and unfortunately we've had to have her spayed as well, which we don't like doing, but unfortunately with the problems, the infections and everything that she started developing, unfortunately we had no choice, otherwise she would have died. So, but she is relatively tame, and this is one of the problems we find, is that when people tame foxes, you know, and encouraging them by feeding and everything, then we find they're more at risk of being attacked by dogs and other animals, and that's unfortunately what's happened here. We're working with the Fox Project. We hope to detame her. So hopefully if we can get her in with some other foxes and try and get some of this tameness away from her by encouraging her to use her natural instincts again, then fingers crossed she will be releasable. You know, I've yet to tame an animal that has come into WRAS and yet to have to put one into captivity. So I don't want this to be the first. So I'd rather detame this fox and get it back out into the wild.
So you have two crows? Or
yeah, we've got two crows in here at the moment. This one here was from Uckfield Water Treatment Works. It's been shot using a shotgun, so it's actually got little bits of lead shot throughout its body. So it's surviving, but it's having problems with its legs and its coordination with its legs and feet and everything, which is not that uncommon with these victims.
Yeah.
I can't say that we're going to be successful with this one, but we're certainly giving it a try.
Yeah. What about the other one? Yeah.
The other one here, I'll put this in the notes. This is from Brighton, this one, possible attacked by other birds. So it's obviously been in a fight, I think, with other birds, but damaged wing. But it's perching all right, so fingers crossed the wing will heal nicely.
What is the procedure now with the badger? What will you be doing?
Well, again, because he's lost so much body fat, he's struggling to maintain his body temperature, so we're having to provide warmth to him to make sure that he's okay. So we've got an electric heat pad in there, just to sort of try and help warm up the environment, but in the short term, as he only came in last night, we're also giving him some little heat pads directly underneath where he's lying, just to try and keep him warmed up. So last night when we took his temperature, it was off the scale. You know, it wouldn't even read on the thermometer.
Too low.
It was too low to actually read on the thermometer. So we're just trying to get his temperature up for the moment, using this additional heating. But hopefully after today, he may not need that.
And then, I mean, you're drip feeding him, or you're just giving him fluids?
The fluids are just vital fluids, you know, just to get his blood pressure up,
Right.
and to get fluids. He's badly dehydrated when he came in, so we need to get that into him. That should make him feel a lot better.
When he's stabilised, what will the next procedure be?
We need to get his ears checked and the rest of his body. The wounds need to be cleaned again. So I suspect that the vet will be over later on to have a look and help us with that. But you know, badgers can be difficult animals to handle. Obviously, you know, they can take your finger off if they bite you. So we do need to be very careful. And now he's got more fluids in him. He's certainly a lot more lively than he was last night. So, but I'm sure he's got one hell of a headache, and certainly isn't feeling well at all, I'm sure. Surprising how few organisations like WRAS exist. You know, WRAS is quite unique in the UK in the fact that we are primarily an ambulance service, whereas most organisations are primarily hospitals that do a little bit of rescue, where we're completely the opposite. So, you know, we rely on our ambulances being here to get out quickly and assess casualties in emergency situations. So if it wasn't for these vans being on the road, we wouldn't be able to do our work. So, you know, we need to replace 2 of these vans and really get them back on the road as quickly as possible. And at the moment, it's going to cost somewhere in the region of about £18,000 to do that. And we need a couple of purpose-built ambulances which we can get on the road quickly. These vehicles cost about £12,500 a year to keep on the road. That's, you know, your MOT, your insurance, your fuel, the regular maintenance that has to take place to make sure they're fit and healthy vehicles. So it's not cheap. You know, again, you know, our vet's bill every year is about £12,500 as well. It costs about £5,000 to have our phone line and the mobile phones up and running all year. So it's quite an expensive business. On average, it costs roughly £65 to be on call for and respond to a single incident. And of course, you know, casualties don't happen Monday to Friday 9 till 5:30. In fact, most of them probably happen outside of that time. So, you know, nighttime calls are quite frequent. You get woken up in the middle of the night to calls, and it can be a very difficult job. So, of course, there's not that many volunteers that are willing to commit themselves to doing those sorts of hours and jumping and going at a moment's notice. So, the volunteers we've got working for us, you know, I'm very proud of them, and they're a brilliant bunch, and I'm glad they're working for us. Yeah, if you've got access to the internet, you can go to our website, which is www.wildlifeambulance.org, or otherwise you can send a cheque or postal order payable to East Sussex WRAS to our treasurer at Ash Cottage, 73 Friday Street, Eastbourne, BN 238AY. That is only the treasurer's address. There's no hospital facilities there, I'm afraid, so please don't deliver any casualties there.